everyone, welcome to another video. In this video I'm gonna be testing out the new Kiko limited edition for summer 2021, namely the Fruit Explosion collection. This collection is super cute, super summery, and I can't wait to try it. Let's get right into the video. So Kiko is an Italian brand that does a lot of different limited editions throughout the year, and for this summer they are bringing out a lot of summery fruit themed makeup, and when I saw this I was like, this is perfect for this time of year. So let's first go through these products and then I will show you them in action and I will apply all of them, and after that I will tell you my first impression thoughts. So let me tell you everything that I got. I didn't get everything in this collection. There are some products that I wasn't that interested in that I didn't get. It is quite a big collection, so if you're interested in this, just check out their website. There are also all different colorways than that I have here. So first up I got one of the watermelon pearly lipsticks. There are two lipstick formulas, or three maybe, I believe, in this collection. This is a lipstick formula that is a little bit more pearly and shiny. I got the color 01 and this is kind of like a mid-tone nude. I'm really curious to see what this will look like on the lips. It has like the watermelon seeds on the outer packaging, and then on the inside on the bullet you have the stripes that are also kind of like mimicking watermelon, and these smell really sweet, really like watermelon. It looks like a really pretty color. Can't wait to try this one. The packaging does feel a little bit light and cheap. It doesn't feel the absolute best. The cardboard packaging though is really cute. This just looks so summery and nice. I feel like this happens often with Kiko, that their cardboard packaging looks better than the actual product. I feel like they could step it up a little bit there. But in general it looks really nice and pretty. Next up I also got the watermelon creamy lipstick in the shade 03. This is a bit of a rosy shade. It has the same packaging. You don't really see a difference there. And this also has the imprint on the bullet of the lipstick. This is just a really nice bright rosy color in a creamy formula. Then I also got the Fruit Explosion Juicy blush. This is also in such a cute bright pink packaging with a bunch of fruit on there. This is a liquid blush. I've never tried a liquid blush, so I'm really curious to see what this will be like. I just wanted to try a bit of everything from this collection, so I got this one. This looks kind of like a corally shade. This is a shade 03. It was called something like pink something. It doesn't say the exact shade on the packaging, but I will put everything that I have here, all the names, all the exact shades, I will put in the description box. But it was called something like pink, but it does look quite warm. It's like a really warm leaning coral. I'm really curious to see what this will look like on the cheeks. Then I also got one of the eyeliners. This is in a really pretty bright yellow packaging. I got the eyeliner in a bright teal shade. The packaging is so interesting because it's kind of like see-through. This really makes it even more summery. I think this shade looks very interesting, very bright. I'm very curious to see how this will work on the eyes. I'm thinking maybe I will put this in my waterline. I think that will probably go the best with the look that I have in mind. Then I also got the Kiko glowing highlighter. This is in a beautiful red packaging. Here we get into the more interesting packaging. This one kind of looks like a raspberry. It's nice and red. It has the seeds on the front, and when you open it you have this embossing of raspberries. It looks very cute. This shade looks very shiny, very glowy. It looks a little bit dark. This one is a shade 02 Coral Sunset. I was hoping it would be kind of like a peachy highlighter, so we're gonna see how this is gonna work on my skin. This one has kind of like a sweet fruity scent. Kiko really likes to scent their products, and this is not the most overpowering scent I've smelled from them, from their products, but it definitely is a bit sweet. Then next up I also got the Maxi bronzer. This is quite a large bronzer. I think this is the biggest bronzer that I have in my collection. And this packaging kind of looks like an orange slice, very cute and summery. When you actually open it up, you have the embossing of an orange, and this smells so much like orange actually. This smells so orangey, like you are sitting next to a glass of orange juice. That's very interesting. This one is in the shade 02 Wild Sienna. It looks like quite a nice cool toned bronzer. I think this one is definitely gonna be working for my skin tone. There were also other bronzers in this collection. I feel like there were 2 other shades that were a little bit warmer. Then next up I also got this little eyeshadow palette that is in a green box. And this one actually looks like a kiwi. Very cute, very colorful packaging. This one is in the shade 02 Rose Alchemy. This is a rosy color story. It's a little bit between warm and cool. I believe there are 2 other colorways with this eyeshadow palette. It maybe isn't the color story that you would expect with such colorful packaging, but I kind of get Kiko is a brand that loves their neutrals, so I don't really see them branch out and do really bright colors just yet, but that maybe would have made a bit more sense with the packaging. Of course, I personally don't mind it, but I do get when you see this cute packaging that you're like, that's gonna have some bright colors. So I have a bunch of really colorful, really cute makeup here in front of me, and let's get to some application. So I zoomed you in a little bit. My skin isn't looking the best right now because I'm trying a new SPF and it's breaking me out, so I'm sorry about that. I kind of tried to cover it up, but yeah, this is what we're working with today. So let's start with the eyeshadow palette. I just wanted to do a little bit of a soft, simple, rosy look, but that's basically what you're gonna get when you're using this eyeshadow palette. So I was thinking to just start with this kind of mid-toned rosy shade over here and put that in my crease. So let me grab a crease brush. When I actually swatched these eyeshadows, they did feel a little bit dry, so let's see how these apply on the eye. Sometimes when you swatch mattes, they can feel dry when you swatch them, but then when you actually apply them, they work well. So I'm hoping that is the case with this eyeshadow palette. The eyeshadow is a little bit crumbly in the pan, but not too much. I feel like that is working well enough for a rosy kind of light transition shade. This definitely looks better in my opinion than the swatch. I think that looks pretty cute. It doesn't look bad at all. I'm also really curious to see how the shimmers work. I have to say, I actually haven't really tried Kiko eyeshadows before. Maybe a single here or there, but I've never really bought an eyeshadow palette, I believe. But I've heard some good things about their eyeshadow palettes, so I have high hopes. So I'm building this up just a little bit. I feel like that's going quite well. I don't have any problems building it up. It's quite a nice rosy shade. Now let's move on to a shade that's a little bit darker. And I'm gonna grab this one over here. I don't think these really have names. I'm just gonna grab the same brush and apply that in the outer corner. I just have a feeling like this is a pretty easy, effortless, easy to take with you eyeshadow palette. Also because it's so compact. You can just throw this in your makeup bag and you have like 9 shades. Yeah, 9 shades, so that's pretty good. That just makes it a little bit darker and brighter. I'm quite happy with the pigment here. I don't mind this so far. That's looking quite good. Now I just want to deepen it up a little bit more. And for that I think I'm going to be taking this shade over here. That is a little bit darker and that's still a bit on the warm rosy side. So I'm taking another crease brush and I'm just going to build this up in the outer corner. This is quite a nice shade. I like the pigment that this has. So doing the same on the other eye, focusing this on the outer corner, but basically blending everything together. I think this is a nice shade for deepening this up. I quite like these mattes. They're maybe not the most pigmented eyeshadows ever, but that does make them easy to work with and you can build them up. That's looking pretty nice. Just gonna blend everything together a little bit, blending the edges. Now let's move on to some shimmers. I think I want to try this lighter shimmer first. It's a little bit of a rosy tone, a light rosy shade. This didn't swatch the best. It felt a little bit dry. So let's see what happens when you apply this to your eyelid. It's a bit of a small pen to get your finger in if you like applying eyeshadows with your finger. Yeah, this is not the best eyeshadow. This isn't great. There's not a lot of pigment here and it is really dry and I don't see a lot of shimmer or pigment or anything. It's just a little bit of a satiny sheen and it's also getting hard pan I see. No, I'm not a fan of this one. I like the matte, but this shade, I mean, I don't know if you can see this on camera, but this is getting, I don't know, you can kind of see it, I think. This is getting hard pan already. That's not the best quality eyeshadow in this palette for sure. So let's see if I can still get some of it for the other eye. I could still pick some up. This isn't going too well. Okay, so this is not my favorite. That is not a very good shimmer. And this hard pan is like basically the whole pan. Don't love that. So now let's try this shimmer that's a little bit darker and see if that one works better. So I'm just gonna take that with my finger as well. This one is a little bit crumbly, a bit darker. This one has a little bit of a satin sheen. This also isn't like my favorite, but I can live with it because there's some pigment there. There is a sheen at least. It's a bit crumbly, but it's not extremely dry. Yeah, these shimmers aren't my fave. Let's do that on the other eye and see. You know, if you apply this and you look at it from a bit of a distance, it's fine, but no, I don't love this. This isn't the quality I was hoping for, sadly. It just looks really lackluster, dry. There's just not a lot of sheen or shimmer here. This doesn't do it for me. I wanted something a bit more pigmented, a bit more creamy. I can understand if it's not extremely shimmery, but at least give me like a nice satin sheen. And this doesn't have that, in my opinion. So yeah, this isn't the best start of my first impression of this collection, but just let's finish this eye look. I think I'm gonna put this shade and this shade together on the lower lash line. I'm just taking a flat brush for that. And just smoking this out a little bit. I mean, the mattes aren't bad, but I don't know about this eyeshadow palette. So let me just go on into that more cool tone brown and smudge that. I think I'm also gonna smudge a little bit of that cool tone brown on my lash line. Here I can definitely tell that it's not the most pigmented one, because often when I do this like technique with really pigmented eyeshadows, then you don't need to put in a lot of effort to get this smoky line here. But here not a lot happens right away. I do have to go back in, take quite a lot on the brush. And I mean, it's not the worst when an eyeshadow isn't that pigmented. I can totally get that, but it is definitely a thing with this eyeshadow palette. Something to keep in mind. Now let's pop a shimmer in the inner corner and see how that goes. I'm gonna take this shade in the middle. That's kind of like a lilac-y tone, and I'm gonna put that in my inner corner. Taking quite a bit on the brush just to be sure. And this is also extremely powdery, not really shiny, not a lot happens here. It's just so powdery. I never wet my shimmers. I always use them like this. So that's why I'm also using them like that right now. And usually I really don't have any problems, but now it just isn't working. So that's an inner corner highlight. It doesn't do a lot for me. Now let me just clean up under my eyes, put on some mascara, and then we'll... Oh, wait a second, I have an eyeliner. Let me grab the Teal eyeliner that I got. And I was thinking to just put this in my waterline. By the way, I don't know if I said the shade of this one, but this is shade 5 and it is a bright teal. Let me just see. I never apply eyeliner in my waterline, so let's see how this goes. Okay, so this applies really easily. I never ever do this. So for me this looks kind of weird, but that worked pretty well. I don't have to put a lot of pressure to apply this. And it's a nice bright shade. It's creamy enough. I hope you can kind of see that there. Now I will clean up under my eyes, put on some mascara, and then move on to the other products. So this is what the eye look looks like right now. You know, from a distance it looks okay, but I'm really not that impressed with these eyeshadows. Now let's move on to the cheek products, and I hope those will give me some better results. So I guess I should start with the liquid blush. I never really use liquids or creams, so I'm definitely not an expert. I definitely don't have a lot of experience applying this. So take this review with a grain of salt. But let's just first apply this blush. I guess I will just apply a few dots. And I'm just gonna take a stippling brush and see how this goes. Maybe I took too much. Yeah, maybe that's a little bit too much. But it's blending out quite nicely. I actually really like how that looks. That looks really pretty. It has a nice natural glow. It blended out quite easily. Should I apply a little bit more maybe? Please don't judge me too hard. I have no idea what I'm doing. Creams and liquids aren't my field of expertise. But I can at least tell you if I like it just the way it is without any comparisons. So I like it. It's nice. It has enough pigment, I feel, but it isn't too pigmented. You can kind of build it up. I don't feel like you can go wrong easily with this. I really like this finish as well. I can definitely see myself wearing this in the summer. I feel like it's definitely drying down. It doesn't feel tacky or sticky or anything. It doesn't stay creamy. Let's see if it kind of stays shiny. What happens when it stays on a little bit longer. Now let's just apply this to the other side. Let's just blend it out. When you first blend it out, it looks kind of scary, but in the end, it does work quite well. Did I apply more on this side? A bit more. I like it. It looks very fresh, very dewy. That's a nice blush. That's really nice. Maybe I can get into creams a little bit more. I really like how it looks. I really like this color for it as well. It's warm, but because it's so like sheer, it does work on me. It does blend into the skin quite nicely. It definitely dries down quite quickly. I think you have to work with it a little bit quickly. You shouldn't wait too long for it to dry down. Yeah, this feels like it has already dried down and I've been doing this for like 2 minutes. So keep that in mind. I really like this one. This is a good blush. I like it. Now let's move on to this highlighter. So this looks pretty dark in the pan. I'm a little bit scared. Let me just swatch it. It looks really pretty and shiny though. Let's see what will happen when I apply this. Maybe in the end I will use it more as like a blush topper if it's really too deep. So I'm just gonna take my highlighter brush. I'm actually pretty happy and pretty surprised that that liquid blush went on so easily. So I'm just gonna start a little bit back here, not applying it too high. I usually really like Kiko highlighters, so I have high hopes. I like how that is looking. Do you see the difference? It does make it a little bit darker. So I feel like it is a bit of a blush topper for me. I shouldn't put it too high on my cheekbones. This scent, it's so sweet. It really smells like candy. Okay, so I like how this is looking. I like the shade. I like the effect it gives. It's really pretty. Especially in real life, when I look in my mirror here, it looks very nice and glowy. It is like this kind of peachy gold. I think especially on deeper skin tones, this is gonna look really nice. I just have to be a little bit careful with it, but it's a really pretty color. I think I'm definitely gonna wear this in the summer. That's so like bronzy and juicy and pretty and glowy. That's so nice. Actually, I hope you can kind of see that. It's like a really nice mix of shades, almost like it's a little bit duochrome. I think this is so gorgeous. I'm really impressed with this one, and it's also so nice and compact. My other Kiko highlighters are a bit more bulky, so I could easily take this with me. By the way, it's getting so dark here. It's almost like it's nighttime, but it's in the middle of the day. It's getting so dark, as if it's gonna be like pouring rain in like 2 minutes. I hope that's not gonna happen. Now, next thing I wanna try is this bronzer. This packaging doesn't really stay up. Like, let's just put this on top a little bit. Usually I put my bronzer first, but I thought because of that blush, I would just put the blush first. So let's see how this goes. So I'm just taking a little bit and just starting applying that kind of on top. and to the back, blending it together with that blush. These scents are so fruity. It's so strange to all of a sudden smell fruit. I like that. So let's do the same on the other side. I do have to test out this bronzer a bit more, I feel, because now I'm using such a different technique, using it with different products in a different way than I usually would. So I can't really tell you completely how I feel about it. But so far, at least the color and everything, I like. But it's something I definitely have to use more to really give my verdict. But I feel this looks nice and bronzy. I definitely like how these cheeks are looking. Yes, this looks very nice. Weather has been so crazy in the Netherlands. Like bright sun one moment, like crazy pouring rain the other. I'm so sorry, like my recent videos have been all over the place when it comes to lighting. It's just what it is right now. So let me just put something in my brows and then we can try on the lip products. It's like pouring rain right now. I hope you don't hear that. I'm just gonna lip swatch these lipsticks for you real quickly. Let's do this rosy tone first because I'm most excited about the Pearly lipstick. I think I want to wear that for like the rest of the day. So I just took a little bit of a break because this rain was crazy. It was so loud and it was so dark and I was like, let me just wait a second for this to pass so you can actually hear what I'm saying and not just hear the rain and actually see what I'm doing on my face. So this is what the cheeks look like right now in a little bit more light. I'm really impressed. Now let's get on to those lipsticks. Let me just put on the creamy rosy shade that I got. It doesn't really say on the packaging what type of lipstick it is or what the exact shade name is. That's something maybe they could work on. Let me see. This is the watermelon creamy lipstick. So let me just apply this one. It looks really cute and it smells so strongly like a watermelon. So it definitely has a little bit of a shine to it. And it's quite a bright pinky shade actually. Not as nude as some of my other rosy tones that I have. That's quite a bright shade. Quite fun. I was a bit unsure if it was gonna add enough to like my lipstick collection that I already have, but it's definitely quite like a warm, bright, pinky shade. It has some rosiness to it, so it's still wearable, but that's a really nice color. It feels really hydrating, very creamy. I definitely will have to test out if this is gonna wear long, if this is gonna go outside of my lip line or anything like that. It doesn't really feel like it's gonna be very long wearing, but my experience, my personal experience with Kiko lipsticks is that they do wear long. So really nice formula so far. I really like how this feels on the lips. It looks very nice and shiny. It has a really pretty creamy shine. Now let me get this off and try the Pearly lipstick. So this was the shade 01. And I think I'm just gonna try it without a lip liner because sometimes that can really change how you view the lipstick. It can really change how you see the color. So I'm just gonna apply it like this first and then maybe I will add some lip liner. So it's definitely a bit more metallic than I expected. It's also a bit sheer. It's not that dark. I would say it's kind of like in between a pearly and a metallic lipstick. It feels a little bit gritty when applying, but I don't really feel that on the lips. I don't know how I feel about this. It's quite metallic, it's quite shiny. I think maybe I could use it more in combination with another lipstick so it doesn't have this metallic sheen all over. I don't know how I feel about this yet. It's not my favorite, I think. I'll have to see how I can make this work for me. So let me apply a little bit of lip liner. I did see some lip swatches with these Pearly lipsticks and I thought it looked pretty nice on the model, but on myself, I don't know if I love it. In a viewfinder, I'm like, it's kind of nice, but when I look in the mirror, I don't know if I will end up wearing this a lot. So this is the finished look with all the new Kiko Fruit Explosion makeup that I got. Let's go through all of them real quickly to give you my first impression thoughts so far. Let's start with the eyeshadow palette. I would say avoid this one. Don't grab this one. The mattes are okay, I can live with them. The shimmers are just the worst shimmers I've tried in years. I'm really actually disappointed with this palette and I feel like you can get much better eyeshadows for this price. This really isn't a good eyeshadow palette. Like, the packaging is cute, but don't let yourself be convinced by that. It's not worth it. Then next up, I tried the eyeliner. I think this is a really pretty color. I really like the packaging. It went on in my waterline really easily. I'm gonna see how long it's gonna wear, but I actually feel like this is a nice one. I think it looks really nice and vibrant, and it's just creamy enough so you don't have to like tug and pull and push in your waterline to get some color payoff. So I did like this one. Then we have the liquid blush. This is really one of the products that has surprised me, that I didn't know if I was gonna love, but I actually really like this one. It has the right amount of pigmentation, it blended out easily, it does dry down so your face isn't tacky or sticky, and other products went on top really easily. And I also like the finish. It's just like a really natural sheeny finish. Of course, I have the highlighter on top right now, so my cheeks are gonna be looking shiny anyway, but I really liked how this looked. I just feel like this looks so fresh and juicy on the cheeks, so I would definitely recommend this one. Then I tried the highlighter. This is really pretty. I love how this sheen looks. I think this color is just a really stunning and beautiful. It kind of has something of a rose gold, a peachiness in there, almost like a duochrome. The finish is just really nice. I think if you have a little bit of a medium skin tone, light to medium, this will look very nice. This will look very good on you as well if you like a warm toned highlight. I'm definitely gonna be wearing this as kind of like a blush stopper. If I'm gonna be a little bit more tan, I'm probably just gonna wear this as a highlighter. I think it will work for me, or at least I'm gonna try it like that. I feel like it's looking nice. I don't feel like it's looking like way too dark. I just really love the sheen this gives, and this color is just stunning. I'm probably gonna be checking out another shade of this highlighter. I also just like how compact it is. I think there was this other highlighter that was a little bit more rosy, a little bit more cool toned. I think I might pick that one up as well. This one really impressed me. Then the bronzer. This is just a really nice shade for me. I like it so far. I like how it looks right now. I definitely have to try it a little bit more, so I can't really say go out and grab it right away. I can't really fully recommend it yet because I just want to try it a bit with other cheek products and just with this as being my first cheek product before I apply blush. But it looks nice and bronzy, it looks nice and natural, it wasn't too pigmented. It has a little bit of a natural sheen, kind of like a satin finish to it, so it's not like flat matte, but it's also not shiny. I think this is a bronzer that's really easy to work with. I didn't have any problems with it. It does look very nice on the skin. Just have to try it out a little bit more. Then the two lip products. I really like the color and the feel of this creamy lipstick. It is a little bit sheer, I feel. Not really like sheer, but it doesn't have like perfect coverage, but that is something I actually like. Usually I like the Kiko lip formula. It feels very creamy, very nice on the lips, and I'm definitely gonna be trying this one out a little bit more and update you guys. Then the lipstick I'm wearing right now. I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like this is something that you have to like. It's just really pearly. It has kind of like a metallic finish. I don't know how I feel about that. It doesn't feel gritty on the lips, so it is comfortable. It feels very lightweight, but just this finish I'm not entirely sure about. So this is something you have to decide for yourself. But if you see like the lip swatches of the models, just remember in real life it's a little bit more metallic. So that was everything for my first impression for the Kiko Fruit Explosion collection. Some of these were really great. Some of them disappointed me a little bit, but that is just sometimes what happens. Thank you so much for watching. And I usually say this at the start of my video, but I forgot this time. My name is Marley and I love making YouTube videos about makeup and beauty. I love doing looks, swatches, reviews, all those kinds of things. So if that sounds good to you, then don't forget to subscribe. And of course, like this video if you liked it. And then I will see you in my next video. Bye bye!